Alright, I wanted to do a product test or a product review on a brass spinning top. Now, I bought this on eBay, and from a seller ID OLSONATHA, so Olson Antha, Olson ATHA, and it's called the brass spinning top, and they claim a record of over 16 minutes spin. Now again, that's a record, so it doesn't mean it's going to spin 16 minutes, but I'm going to put it to the test here. And I also have another top that I purchased a long time ago on eBay. It's much smaller, but I just wanted to show you a comparison of tops, and I'll show you right now. Now, the first, you take it out of the box, you get this solid brass piece of metal here, and it is brass because I've got a magnet here, and it does not stick to the magnet. This does not. Let's see. None of this sticks to the magnet either. This one doesn't either. I'm not sure what that one's made out of, but it's solid brass. Construction looks good. It's smooth. It's really well done, and they've got some kind of ceramic BB or bead in there, ball, and ceramic is very hard, so that's a good rounded surface to spin on. And the whole point of having a spinner is to spin a long time. It's a lot of fun. It's like a fidget spinner thing, but I think older people like these. And I've got a mirror here. Now, this is just a cosmetic mirror. I got it at Walmart, but the cool thing, it's convex, so this top will spin and keep it right to the center. And you want to keep this clean. Now, I clean this with alcohol. Another thing too, if you're doing a test especially, you want to make sure it's level. And I leveled this. It's pretty, this table's pretty level. It's almost perfect level. So if you're going to do an honest test, you want to make sure, this is a bead leveler, you want to make sure you're level, and it's pretty close here. And that's what I did. Okay, so you've got the top here. This is the brass one. It's pretty big. And then this is the other one. Now, what I wanted to show you first is, okay, it comes out of the box. You get this big, heavy brass piece, which I'll describe later. It's really well made, and it's got knurled so you can hold it, which is really good. It's got this, it's a piece of rope, a little piece of rope with a brass pull piece on it with a hole. And I'll explain that in a second. Now, that's how you get it out of the box. So the first thing I did for fun is I just took it and I spun it, you know, like you normally would with your fingers. And the first thing I noticed is it does have a slight wobble. I don't know if you can see it. Hopefully you can see it. I'll zoom in here. But if you can see, you see it slight wobble. So it does have a slight wobble, okay, in there. So that I wasn't happy with, and I did let the seller know, hey, you know, it does have a slight wobble, and I don't really like that part. But again, I'm not spinning it very fast. I just spin it with my fingers, but it spins an incredibly long time. I barely spun that, and it is going. Now, one thing I didn't like either was it's not knurled here. It does have a hole, but it's not knurled. It's just smooth. So if you did want to spin it with your fingers, you really can't, because it doesn't have grooves here. Now, if you look at the other spinner, this one is made to spin with your fingers, and it's knurled really well, so you can spin it. Now, I'm going to spin this one and show you that it's not the surface or anything. That wasn't a very good spin. Now, you'll notice it doesn't wobble. This one needs to stabilize a little bit. This one spins really well, and it spins a long time, and it does not wobble. You can see it's kind of going round and round, and it will stabilize in the center eventually. But you'll notice that it does not wobble. Alright, that one is perfectly balanced. I think that's important. I think if you're going to buy a spinner, it should be perfectly balanced and it shouldn't wobble. This one does if you use your fingers, but to be honest, it's not meant to be used in your fingers. Okay, this one is meant to be used with this device here, and this device will make it spin super fast, which is really cool. So here, I just wanted to spin you that one just to show you that it doesn't wobble. And this one will spin in quite a long time. Let's see if I can get this to spin a little bit better. It keeps wanting to go in a circle. But just trust me, it doesn't wobble. It's balanced perfectly. Whereas this one, no. See, it's got a wobble. It's pretty pronounced. And I'll see if I can zoom in here so you can see it. See the wobble? Now, I'm a perfectionist and I don't like the wobble. But again, this isn't made to spin slow. It's made to spin fast. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put this to the test here. You can see it's slowing down. It's still got that wobble, but it's still spinning. Alright, so it's designed to use this thing here. We're going to put it to the test and see how long it'll spin. Now how you load it is, you put it in like this, and then you take the string and you put it through the hole like so. Now it looks like he heated it up a little bit. You don't want to pull it too far, just a little bit. And you want to wind this around. A little tension on it. And you want to put this string, wind this string. Try to keep it away from the ends so it doesn't drag. So wind it up like this. Now that's how you load it. You wind it up just like that. And then what you do is you go like this, hold it over the table, or if you have one of these handy dandy mirrors, which you can get at Walmart pretty cheap, or wherever you shop, I guess. And then hold it, try to hold it level as possible on the surface, and then just pull it hard as you want. Hopefully this will land straight. Hold it right over the center and pull it hard. Now start there. Now I started that timer. Now I pulled it pretty hard and I started the timer pretty close, you know, within a second or two, maybe half a second. You can give it 2 seconds buffer of when I started it. It doesn't matter, it's 2 seconds. So he claims 16-minute spin, and again, this guy right here, it's I told him I'd do this. I do an honest product review for him. Olsen ATHA, Atha, Olsen Atha. So you want to, if you want to buy one, go ahead and go to eBay, go to Olsen Atha, just type that in for the seller, okay, and then go ahead and buy one. I can't remember how much he has these for, but they're worth every penny, because this is solid brass. This is very expensive stuff here. Very heavy. So we're going to see how long this spins. And he claims his record is a little over 16 minutes. So we're going to let this thing spin. Now, looking at it, I'll zoom in here a little bit. There really isn't much wobble at all. I see spinning at high speed, I might see just very slight wobble, very slight, but not much. So it is designed well to spin at high speed without the wobble, which is, you know, which is good. And we've got, keep in mind, we've got a nice glass surface. It's clean. We've got, it's concave, so it wants to stay in the center. And it's got a ceramic bead. So we'll see how long this this goes. Put all this out here so you can see it, hopefully. And this is my other top I bought a while back. Alright, so there's no tricking going on. This is real deal. It's just spinning on the glass. And let's just see how long it goes. I'm just gonna let it spin. Alright, so it's at 6 minutes 32 seconds, and you're getting quite a bit of wobble now. Now, I didn't really pull hard on that thing. I mean, I pulled hard, but I didn't really pull hard. But I don't like that wobble, to be honest with you. So, and I did, when I purchased this thing, I specifically asked him to send me one without wobble. But you know what, if you've ever made one of these by hand, it's almost impossible to get one without wobble. I mean, you've got, this one did, but it's perfect. I mean, it was machined on a machine, and it's so precise that it doesn't wobble. But this one's much bigger, and there's more. I think it's possible that's the hole. Now, he drilled a hole in that thing, obviously. Now, I think what he should have done is drilled another counter hole to make it perfectly balanced. I'm not a machinist, and I'm not a I don't know anything about this kind of thing. If you know about it, please put it in the comments. How could he make this so it would be perfectly balanced? If you want to put that in the comments, I'd appreciate it. My theory is that there's one hole through the shaft, and I know that would throw off the balance. It would have to. So I think to counter that, he should put another hole in it exactly 90 degrees or 180 degrees, whatever, from the other hole to take out the material to make it perfectly balanced. Now, that's just an idea. If he put one more hole in there, maybe if he put the hole in the middle here, exactly 90 degrees, like this, perpendicular, so it would be balanced. I don't know. You know what? I will contact him and give him that suggestion. Maybe then it wouldn't have this wobble. As you can see, there's just a slight wobble. It's still going, 8 minutes. She's still spinning pretty good, and the wobbles seem to die down now a little bit. And the temperature conditions are cool down here, and the humidity's low. Oh, I bumped the table. Now that was my fault. I wish I wouldn't have done that. But the temperature is 65 degrees, 66 degrees, and I kind of messed it up. I bumped the table, so I'm going to have to do this experiment again. But still, 9 minutes. That's pretty good, considering I didn't really yank that thing and I did bump the table. But so it's at 9 minutes 28 seconds here, and it's not too bad. But again, if you have any ideas on how to make this perfect, yeah, looks like it's going to stop. So it officially touched, and I think for a test, once it touches, it's done. So this one went for 9 minutes 45 seconds approximately, and 40 seconds, and that isn't bad for my first time, and I didn't really yank crank on it. The only thing I would, you see, if you can see, there's the hole right there. Now if he put another hole in underneath it, exactly, just perfectly this way, it would be balanced, I think, better. I really do. And maybe I'll drill this one and give it a try. I don't know. I've got a drill press, but it's going to be kind of hard to do. But put it in the comments. Let me know what you think here. I'm going to reset this. So as you can see, it's 9 minutes 45 seconds. He claims 16 minutes. Now I'm going to try this again. And I'm going to yank crank this thing. Really yank crank it. I get that a little wet to go in a little better. I had to trim this a little bit earlier. Oh, don't want to do that. You got to put it in here first. Duh. Okay. So let's put it in there again. Alright, this is unraveling a little bit. I would improve the string too. I don't really like the string very much. Although there I did it. Maybe just practice, it'll be better. The string's a little funky, but plus I think you could, if you wanted to, you could use a longer spin. I mean, you could use a longer string and really, look at that, it popped out. I got to put a little more tension on this, I think. But if you put a longer string in here, it would probably really, you'd get more force. I'm going to pull this out a little bit more here. tension on it when you're spinning this, because it's a little bit difficult, but with practice you'll get it. I keep a little bit of tension on that, and again with practice you'll do this faster, obviously. And then I would think the longer a string too, you'd really be able to crank this thing and get it spinning fast. When this string isn't really that long, but it's not too long. You don't want it longer than your arm, obviously. Alright, so I've got this thing loaded up, and I'm going to crank this thing as hard as I possibly can, and we'll see what happens here. Okay, now I really pulled that hard. Whoa, I didn't start that. Okay, so probably didn't start that for 4 seconds. You can figure that out yourself. But so we have to subtract 4 seconds and whatever. Now there's some little pieces of the string went on there which I do not like. But I'm not going to bump the table this time. Now I really cranked on it this time. I really pulled. Let's see if we can beat the record, my record of 9 minutes. There is some little pieces of string in there which I do not like. That is going to slow it down a little bit. I kind of blew it off a little bit, but so yeah, and look at the string. The string frayed. He did kind of burn it a little bit, but it frayed. So this, I would say, replace the string. This it's kind of a nylon string. I would get a solid string, not like this. So I am going to replace the string with something cloth. I think I'm going to go with something cotton, and because I don't like this at all. It's got these little fibers. So definitely 1 star for the string, and I'd give the, oh, there's a little piece of, you know what, I can see a little piece of the string that's still stuck in there, and that's not good. That's going to slow it down too. Now, let's see if I can zoom it in here. Can you see that? I have no idea why it's unfocusing. You probably can't see it, but there's a little piece of string that got stuck in the hole. That's going to make it go a little slower too. So we'll see what happens here with the flaws that happen, but I'd say the string, that's not good. And I only used this maybe 4 times and it already frayed, so the string is junk. But this is perfect. And the top, I'd give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Only take 1 star away because of the slight wobble, and I think he can fix that with another hole. I'm going to suggest that to him. And again, anybody out there, you machinists out there will know. So if you want to put in your comments what you would do to make this perfect, appreciate that. And you can contact him too on eBay if you want. There's his information again. Really nice guy. I communicated through the eBay messaging, whatever. Asked him a few questions, and he was really nice to me. So that's always good. And I think his feedback's 100% positive too, which is always good. Always check, if you're going to buy something on eBay, always check their feedback. Make sure they've got 100% feedback. Now, you know, that's not always true too. Once in a while you get a couple of negative feedbacks from people who just always give negative feedbacks. You know, that's going to happen. They're just not happy people, or they just, if everything isn't absolutely perfect, they just slam you with a negative. So, you know, and sometimes for things that it's out of your complete control if you're a seller. So, you know, if they got 1 or 2 negatives and they've got a lot of positives, I guess then it offsets it. If they're only a 6, you know, if they've only got a feedback rating of 10, 20, 30, or less than 100, and they got 1, 2, or 3 negatives, that's not so good. But if they've got 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 positives and only 1 or 2 negatives, that's not bad. You can't keep everybody happy. And the people who have 100% positive feedback, very hard to do. So those people are amazing, you know, especially if they've got 10,000 plus feedbacks. You know, if you've got a couple of thousand feedbacks, you're doing really well. So again, this one, there's a couple of flaws. There's a piece of string in the hole. That's going to slow it down. It's got little fibers in there because this thing frayed. But We'll see if it beats my record of 9 minutes. I doubt if it's going to get anywhere near 16 minutes. And I'm going to look for some cotton string. True. Alright, let's just let that spin. Looks like my timer went off. God darn this thing. What's wrong with this? Why would it do that to me? Now you know my password. Alright, so 7 minutes. 7 minutes 19 seconds. This dumb iPhone thing. Whatever that iPad. I don't really like it. It's the wife's, so dumb thing. I gotta get a timer. I'll just get a regular digital timer that doesn't turn itself off. Okay, so we're at 7 minutes. It's a lot less than last time, and it's starting to wobble. So, well, I pulled it really hard, but again, there's fibers in there, and then it's got a little piece in here. You can see it. So that's flawed. But I don't think, I mean, with the string provided and yanking the MF out of it, it didn't anywhere close to 16 minutes. So I will test this again with a different string, and but 9 and 9 is 18. So if we get to 9 minutes, it's about a little over half of what he claimed his record was. So that's not too bad, and I'll get better at it too. But still, people, for a top to spin 8 minutes, it's amazing. But again, I would neuralize this, so if you wanted to use your fingers, you could. That's the improvement I would give it. In fact, you know, maybe I'll give it 3.5 stars or 3.75 stars because of that too. But again, it's not designed for that. So I'm going to go back. I'll give it to 4 stars because it's designed for this. But I would neuralize it so I could use my fingers if I wanted to. I would drill another hole to get that wobble out, if that'll work. and I'd definitely get a different string. So those are other than those flaws, it's really nice. I mean, any top that goes over 9 minutes is pretty amazing. And so I give it 4 stars, you know, out of 5. I can't give it a 5, but and there it's going to stop right there about the same time, about 9 minutes. So that's about it. It gets to be about 9 minutes. You know, that's 9 minutes 40 seconds. You got to subtract 5 seconds. So it went a little bit longer. It hasn't touched yet. I judge it on when it touches. That's when it stops. Once the outer ring touches something, that's when I stop the test, or stop the timer. Say it just hit the 10 mark. And let's see if it makes it a full 10. 5 seconds, 6 seconds, and touch. There, it touched. So hey, it went well over 10 minutes. Even with this little piece of string here, and I'll show you. You can see that little piece of string here that stayed in. Now that is going to slow it down. That's going to cause wind resistance and a little bit of off balance. And there is some fibers on here that it could have run into. It slowed down. So other than those 2 flaws, I didn't stop the timer, did I? But other than those 2 things, there's the close-up of the bead in the bottom. That's a ceramic bead. Construction's very nice in this. It's very smooth. He must have used some kind of lathe, and then these are slight divots made by, it looks like a drill press. Now if he took a drill press and drilled all these, that would be a lot of work. Amazing amount of work, and you'd have to do it exactly to make it perfectly balanced. If he did that, it has to be exact depth and it has to be exact placement all the way around to be perfectly balanced. If he did that, that's amazing. Maybe that's how he got it balanced. I don't know. Maybe it's just for looks, you know, to look cool. I don't know. But if I was making this perfect, I'd leave that out, because then you know it would be perfect. And again, I drill another hole this way. Alright, so please like this video. Please share it out there. Please subscribe. Let me know if you have any other products you'd like me to test. I'm gonna try to test more products. And if you want one of these for yourself, for sure, contact this guy. Go on eBay, and you know, if you communicate with him, mention you saw this on YouTube. Maybe he'll give you a little discount or something. I don't know. Maybe I can work out something with him. Where if you say, hey, I saw the video on YouTube, give me a little discount. Ask him. You know, I'm not going to guarantee he'll do it, but you can certainly ask him. And again, he's a nice guy. So okay, so please like, subscribe, and share this video out there. And I hope